I'm just giving it a few moments to see it go live. Okay, it says meeting is now live on Facebook. Awesome. Yes, we are live. Yay. I did it right the first time. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone out there in Facebook land. I did it right the first time. So yes, so now we can share. So please feel free to share on your pages because I'm getting ready to share on mine and share out to everyone. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good week. I know it's been probably a long week leading up to the holidays next week beginning, but I can't believe it's already the holiday season. Wow. Now that I think about that out loud, it's like, wow. But yes, we are excited to be here tonight. And I have some very special guests joining me tonight. Welcome to Black Indians NC Conversation Circle, episode 6. I can't believe we've had 6 episodes. So exciting. So exciting. So we are moving and shaking right along. So very excited to be here tonight. And I'm just sharing with a few groups and then we will get started. All right. Because a lot of times they're like, you didn't share it with us. And I'm like, don't worry, I will. Oh, sorry about that. So yes, we're letting people get on now. Awesome. And please feel free, everyone, tonight. Please put your comments below. You know I love to read them. And we will get a chance to answer them. So we have some very special guests with us tonight. Joining me tonight are some amazing women that do so much in the areas of when it comes to agriculture. So I feel like that's so important to talk about. And here at Black Indians NC, if you're new to us, we are a group that is a social media platform at this time that is advancing to nonprofit status in due time. We're in the track to that. Yes. Yay. Happy dance for that. But we are a social media platform on Facebook and Instagram, and we are about promoting Afro Indigenous people of African American or African and Native American heritage and lineage and culture. We're all about growing together as a community. And basically, we focus here in North Carolina. So if you're from outside of North Carolina, please say hello in the comments. We'd love to see you. And we're going to get started. So I'm going to start first with Crystal to introduce herself. You can come on and introduce.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Crystal Cavalier Keck, and I am a citizen of the Occaneechi Band of the Saponi Nation here in Alamance County. I grew up here all of my life. I went to UNC Greensboro, and then I got married to the military, and we lived all over. And then I moved back to Fort Bragg, and then I went to UNC Pembroke, and then I went to Washington, and I worked in DC for a while. And then I moved back home because I just wanted to get out of the city. And now I'm working on my doctorate at the University of Dayton on organizational leadership. And I do have a garden. Actually, it's more of a farm now. I grew up on a farm, and so it's my grandparents' farm. And so we're my husband and I, Jason, we're doing a lot of farming now. And it started off really small. We had a collective with the 6 nations, Braiding the Sacred. They came down and they helped us build some beds, and it's just kind of taken off from there. So that's my story short, but you see, I'm in a lot of things. Like I do a lot of political stuff, a lot of volunteer stuff, a lot of missing and murdered Indigenous women stuff. So I do a lot of stuff, and I'm a beater and a crafter. So there you go.
And she's my friend. So the list goes on.
And I'm Kim's cousin.
And cousin, yes. I just love that I have so many new cousins in my life. It is so amazing. No, shout out to the old cousins, but we got some new cousins I'm going to tell y'all about. But thank you so much, Crystal, for being here. Now, as a collective, I have a family here as a group. So this is our first time having a family together on our lives. So that's very exciting. I know, right? Y'all are the first. Y'all are groundbreaking. So I'm going to let you ladies go in the order you like to introduce yourselves. Matter of fact, we're going to start with the matriarch. We're going to start there because I think that's the best way you should kick it off. Yes.
All right. My name is Kisha Jeffries. I'm also a citizen of the Occaneechi Band of Saponi Nation. I am a mother of 7. I have one boy who's the oldest and 6 girls. I've worked hard all my life, work for the man, I should say. And right now I'm focusing on our newfound love, getting back to land, Handewa Farms. I am co-owner along with my daughters and 3 other partners. And we're ready to go. So happy to be able to touch the land again. So happy to be able to connect with the land and the earth again. And like I didn't grow up like Crystal on a farm, but I knew of gardening and getting my food from the land from my grandmother, and learned that my great grandfather was a farmer. So it's beautiful. But that's about it. I mean, I don't have too much interest in facts about myself, other than I have 7 kids. But I'm gonna give it to my daughters.
Nice. And you said no interesting facts. All of that was very interesting.
And she raised some beautiful queens.
She's fluent in sign language. If that's fluency. Yeah.
Nice. Look
She
at those
is.
hidden talents. Hidden talents. I love it. All right, ladies, introduce yourself.
All right, well, I'm gonna go first because her introduction will be more extensive. I'm Chef Abbi J. I'm also a citizen of Occaneechi Band of Saponi Nation. I actually always loved cooking. That's all I knew and loved. And then I found the farm and the land. I am the director or HR director or director over the HR department of Handewa, and I also dip and dab into the farming. I'm also a new mom, so that's exciting. I just had a baby in July, so that's another new venture I'm embarking on, and I'm loving every minute of it. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Congratulations on the
Thank
little one.
you.
Oh,
He's
that's
adorable.
sweet.
Yes, he's precious.
Oh,
And he
congratulations.
looks like a little Indian baby, which makes me so happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
My name is A.yoni Jeffries, and I am also a citizen of the Occaneechi Band of the Saponi Nation. I also want to say that all of us are Gitas. We're all cousins on this call, which I think is so powerful, and it shows how far we're going together. And even though we have these separate platforms, ultimately we're always sharing space. I know Crystal and I share space literally all the time, and I'm very grateful for that. I really look up to you, Crystal, and just like your diligence and everything that you do for all Native Americans, but especially for missing and murdered Indigenous women. That is important work. I myself am a musician. I'm a festival curator, a writer, a multidisciplinary artist, and most currently the director of business development for Handewa Farms. And we started this venture together. Well, technically like April of 2019, though the study and the research it's been about 6 years of like heavy research in our particular industry, and then like cultivating the land and having a space to like actually do what we're doing now and be farmers. That is in less than a year, but we've grown significantly because we each like really pour ourselves into the work.
That is awesome. That is so amazing. I just am so happy. And, I know some people out there going to say, was it all Occaneechi people tonight? Was it Occaneechi night tonight? No, it was not. Believe it or not, I just know some amazing women are part of this tribe, and I think we should highlight them. So we're going to get started right. So we're going to get started. We're our first question of the night, and this is one that came from our viewers. So I'm very excited to always share questions that they send me in my inbox. Thank y'all for inboxing me. When it comes to agriculture, in your opinion, what are your thoughts on the intersection of African Americans and Indigenous people? So when we think about agriculture, that intersection, anyone can share. What are your thoughts about that?
I'll go first. So my maternal grandmother's father was, they came from a big farming family. They're the Andersons out here in Pleasant Grove. And everybody in the Anderson family had a farm, right? Like we had tobacco, sweet potatoes, you name it, we grew it. And my grandmother, she was, well, my great fourth great grandmother, she was of African descent. And then my grandfather was Irish, Scottish, the Florence family. And they lived together in the community, the indigenous people and the African Americans, and they worked together, right, for the same goals. And they lived together, and they, you know, survived. They taught each other things. Like, I give you an example. Like, my grandparents would say stuff like if you see a black snake, right, you would kill it and throw it up in the tree, right? Yep.
So it can rain, yes.
Yeah, make it rain, right? That's what my grandparents say. Every time you see a snake, chop its head,
throw it up. Same
and
here.
it wasn't until I talked to Fix Kane about it, and he was talking about the same thing, but he gave like a Native American story behind it. And we never knew that because, you know, all of our stories were, you know, taken away and we had to hide who we were. And it's real important because we both learned from each other, whether it was an African tradition or an indigenous tradition of how to prepare the land. Like I know one thing is in the spring, we always get ready to plant when the dogwood trees are as big as the squirrel's ear, right? That's when the flowers or the blooms. That's what I say, when they're as big as a squirrel's ear, that's when it's time to plant, right? It's usually that comes right after the first frost, but I mean, it's huge. It's a huge importance, especially here in North Carolina, when we had a lot of influences from African and indigenous people working together, right? They would always work in the fields together, whether they were, you know, enslaved together or if they were free together. So, I mean, I think it's real important. And I kind of think we've kind of gotten away from that. I'm sorry, I'm drooling at the mouth. From working together, you know, like, I don't know if it's through the Jim Crow segregation era and where everybody had to like put each other down to, you know, move up to the top of the list to just try to get some type of services. But I think I do see a shift and a change where people are starting to try to work together better, right? And it's the youth that are doing that. So A.yoni's age, they're, you know, pushing people together, right, to break out of this mold that's been in place for the last 50 years. So that's what I got to say on that one.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because there was such a strong intersection there. And for so long, we worked together collectively. And that's why you can hear people all across North Carolina that have heard probably that story. And I saw Mallory Richardson had posted about the black snakes are medicinal as well to the Handewa Saponi tribe because it's in their tribal seal. So just things like that, you see that commonality across several different Native and African traditions of knowing these types of things when it comes to land. All right, Jeffries ladies. I have to call y'all collective down there. Does anyone have any comments about this question?
Do you mind repeating it one more time for me?
Yeah, sure. When it comes to agriculture, what are your thoughts, your personal thoughts on intersection of African Americans and Native Americans, indigenous people? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I know y'all farming, so what do y'all, historically, present day?
Like actually, all of us.
I mean, I think that it's similar to what Crystal was saying. You know, many of us have mixed heritages or mixed cultures. I know myself, I'm Native American and Jamaican. Culturally, of course, I'm just Black, but culturally that holds a different weight. And what I can see, like from my father's side of my family, where, you know, they're from Jamaica and I come from two lines of farmers on each side, I would truly say there's a huge disparity between food and medicine. And that is very intentional to get us to be to get us to the point that we are at right now societally, as Black Americans and Black people universally or like globally, and also the indigenous communities to cut off the resource and to cut off the systems that are in place to actually feed us the knowledge to be able to take care of ourselves. You go into a grocery store today and you see that it's more than 2/3 full of packaged things. And it's not to, I'm not like blaming anyone, at least not people who are being oppressed, but it is definitely, it's systemic, and it's something that is put into place to like lower our vibration. So the work that we're doing is so necessary, and it affects both communities in the same way, because the government, you know, just throughout these last few decades, they wanted, and they've intentionally made it so that we did not grow and we didn't know where we came from. We didn't know our roots. And to be connected to our roots is literally to be connected to this earth. And, you know, especially with Native tradition, no matter where you were native to on earth, it's something that, yeah, it holds true for so many of us. And this is what we value. But if there's a disconnect, especially in places where capitalism reigns, as it does here, and where individuality reigns, as it does in the US, we're going to get that until we decide to change it. And now we're doing something about it.
Yes, I'm so glad to see so many young people doing things about it and utilizing their social media in a positive way to do so. So yes. Any other comments, ladies? Y'all have?
Miss Jeff, no. How does it? I mean, come on. How does it apply for you?
I feel like you said it. I mean, it for pretty much what you said with the medicinal use. I use my cooking to heal. I specialize in vegan and vegetarian cuisine, and so I really don't want to like answer the question because it's very extensive. But for me, it's learning how food is medicine. And bringing, and I'm Black, I'm African American and Indian, or Native, Indigenous. It's really important to, one, feed my body healthy things, and to help me out. I'm nervous.
I know you are.
Sorry.
You got it.
I'm not really good at public speaking. I know we're on live, so I apologize for my stuttering. But all in a nutshell, it's really important for me to get back to my roots and to learn the medicine and food. And just being African American and Indigenous, it means a lot. And that's pretty much what I'm gonna say about it.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
You did awesome. Thank you
Thanks.
so much. And I love how you said your food, your cooking is healing, because that's so important to bring.
I get that a lot. Like when people, eating my food is an experience. I use everything's natural. I try not to use like a lot of processed foods. I may use like canned beans here and there because I get lazy, but for the most part, like everything comes from the earth. I shop at local markets like Perkins Orchard, and get fruits and vegetables from there. And I know people don't believe in organic food, but I do believe that it's different. Farm grown food is different, and it tastes a lot better. So and honestly, like when you eat my food, you don't feel tired, you don't feel sluggish, you feel energized, you feel empowered, you're ready to go for your day. And that's something I enjoy about cooking for myself, because I know if I eat, at home, cooking a nice healthy meal versus going out to eating a burger and some fries, my energy level it's gonna be a difference in between that. So it's really good to eat from the earth.
Yeah, and I just left Perkins today. Shout out to people who go to Perkins Orchard.
Oh yeah, that's our spot.
That is my spot.
Grab bag.
It's like an adult candy store.
It really is.
Yes.
And you get a bang for your buck there, for real.
You
Those
do.
$20 bags, I hope they keep that for the rest of the
That's
day.
a staple that never leaves is the $20 bag. So Donovan, if you're out there, or anybody that works at Perkins Orchard, please do not stop the $20 grab bag. We love it.
Please don't.
And the free item of the week. The free item of the week.
Oh yes,
because them pineapples
I
come
was gonna say the pineapples. Sometimes I get 2 20 bags, so I can get 2 pineapples.
And feel free to comment below, everyone, if you've been out to Perkins to check them out in Durham. Check them out.
Yes.
They're awesome.
Right off of Barbie.
Yes, Miss Kisha, do you have anything to add to that question?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, the intersection with African Americans and Indigenous, is that we all lost most of us lost the agriculture part. We became so commercialized, and so to the point where, you know, everything is needed now, the waiting. So we need to get back to the earth, as Afro Indigenous people. We lost that part, you know, we lost that, you know, growing our own foods and our own resources, our own herbs, you know, the healing herbs. We lost that, and we're trying to get that back and show people sustainability through, you know, growing their own foods. You don't have to necessarily, you know, rely on the grocery stores or, you know, the farmers markets are great, but it's also nice to, if you grow your own food too, and know and still be supportive to one another, which goes to another question that you have. So I'm not going to say too much on that about the supportive part, but yeah, I just feel like, you know, the intersection for us is us to get back to the land again.
I agree, and thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to get a little deeper into the farm piece. Our special guest, Crystal, does have to leave shortly to go on and with her doctoral work that she's out here doing.
Well, I will stay till like 8, and then I'm gonna hop off.
Okay. So you might see her fade out a little bit, guys, but she's still here. So if you have a quick question for Crystal, please comment below here on Facebook. And we do have a question that came in, which we can say, you know, we can save it for a little later or not answer now. Are questions about your farm permitted, or should that be taken offline?
Oh, I guess not my farm.
To the Jeffries family.
Yeah.
Any questions about your farm permitted, or should that be taken offline? And we can have them, you know, reach out.
I would say as long as it's not too extensive, it takes up too much of everyone's time, especially while Crystal's still here. I would like for us to, like, you know,
all right,
to be inclusive of that.
You heard it. You heard her. You heard the lady. So if you do have a question about the farm, please ask one real quick. Crystal's still here with us until about 8. So you got time to ask a question below.
I do have a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
For Crystal specifically. I'm not sure. I know. I wanted to know. So with having your hands in agriculture, how do you feel that balances you with the work that you do? Because it is pretty difficult to day in and day out continuously like be engulfed with your mission, especially surrounding like missing and murdered Indigenous women. That's very close to home. So how do you balance that with the agricultural work that you do?
Well, I will tell you, I am in this collective called Women's Earth Alliance. I applied last summer and I got selected to be in this, and it's actually helped me balance both and network, because basically what we need to do is be able to network with people to help grow our business, agriculture business, while helping intersect like social justice things, because like Kisha was saying, like we need to plant and get back on the earth, you know, get back to the ground. And so I look at it as we're all learning this culture that was taken away from us, right? So like we're learning things about pipelines, we're learning things about asphalt plants, things that are, you know, taken away from our communities, right? Like, so up the street 2 miles, they want to put a hot asphalt plant. Well, that's not good for us because it's going to destroy our crops that we have here, right? And so you have to be able to stay cognizant of all that, as well as have a really good support system. So like you have a good support system with your sister and your mom and your partners. I have a pretty good support system too with my husband, my kids, and my mom. And whenever I need to lean on them, you know, I have had to ask for help. And it just recently, this past weekend, we had the Eco Institute. They had a program that we're working with them, and they lent some of their students to come out to help us in our garden to prepare them for the winter. So you do have to have a good support network. And then I will not lie, it does get heavy. And sometimes I have so much anxiety, I'm just like, okay, let me just go outside and ground myself. And when you can learn to ground yourself and take a breath, things tend to flow a lot better. And what I've learned is there's just some things that I just can't control, right? Like it's just out of my control. And I have learned to let that go, right? Like I can't control it. And it's going to happen, it's going to happen regardless. So those are some things for you.
Thanks, Crystal.
Right. I got 2 minutes, y'all.
You got 2 minutes, and I'm glad you mentioned grounding because one of my favorite singers, the Beyonce, is one that does not like to wear shoes. Fun fact about her. In most of her pictures when she's like vacationing and all these fabulous places we wish we could be with her, she is usually barefoot and grounding herself back to the land of her, Texas roots and to her Creole heritage. So it's really, really nice to hear about when we talk about grind. I'm all about reconnecting to the earth and making sure that we're doing that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, any comments for Crystal in the comments, people? Everyone seems to be commenting. And our farm question is, what can you quickly talk about your farm opportunities to volunteer? So volunteering at the farm. Are there opportunities?
When it comes to my farm, you just reach me on Facebook. We will find something for you to do. Whether it is like helping prepare a garden bed,
okay,
putting together a greenhouse.
Okay.
Taking a walk to the beaver pond and see the beaver pond. So we have a beaver pond and they dammed it up. And so it's a creek. It's actually a Stag Creek that runs behind my house, but they dammed it up. And so it's like this big lake back there now. But that's some good. Oh, you was there. You guys went to the lake. Yeah.
We were all there.
Yeah.
So you guys know what I'm talking about. We'll find you something to do. Like, don't worry about that. Just reach out to us.
So we know you can reach Crystal on Facebook in her messenger to hit her up to see if you're interested with her farm, Jeffries farm. If people want to volunteer with your farm, how do they go about doing that?
Yes. Listen, first of all, Crystal, we're going to get with you to talk about the volunteers from that school. Because, and like she just said, we are always open to volunteers. We love having volunteers come out. What we've been getting a lot. Bye.
Love y'all.
I love you.
As soon as I'm gonna watch this. Bye.
Thank you. So yeah, we'll make sure we recap with Crystal offline to talk about those volunteers.
Yes, we definitely will. But yes, we're always open to volunteers, and this year especially, so many volunteers. I believe each one that has come out has come back twice and 3 and 4 times.
Yes.
Because it's been such a great place of refuge and a safe space for every single person that comes out there, no matter their complexion, no matter their background. Mm-hmm. When you come out to Handewa, you really are part of the larger tribe that we're building here. So it feels great to have new people come and to experience what we're doing and to get acquainted with hemp, because that's a heck of a crop right there.
It is. And also how you can find out how to volunteer with us. There is a volunteer form on our website, handewafarms.org. And we actually have one of our co-founders, Shaka, who's spearheading that. So he will be in touch with y'all if y'all are interested. And we actually do need volunteers this upcoming Sunday if anybody is interested.
Saturday.
Or is it Saturday?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Saturday.
Yeah.
My apologies. We'll probably be out there on Sunday. But 10 a.m. This Saturday, we will be shucking, which is exciting because we're literally seeing the fruits of our labor.
Yeah.
And getting it packed away to, go off. So again, if you're interested, or you can reach out to us individually, we can get you squared away as well.
And we're the same on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram. You can Google us and the website will come up. It's Handewa. It's HANDEWA Farms.
Thank you so much, ladies. And please make sure you also mention like the name for your farm, what it means.
Yes.
You want to take that on? You have the whole like. It's like Ohana means.
Handewa means generational in our native tongue of Tutelo. And so the Occaneechi Saponi, the Handewa Saponi, we are sister tribes for those that didn't know that. And Tutelo Saponi, that is our language that that resides in all of the tribes that are within the Saponi Nation. So that's what it means, and that's where its origin is from. And I'll let mommy tell everyone why it's important to us to have such a name and the power that holds.
All right, so Tutelo Saponi, like having that Handewa generational, that meaning means, not just having generational wealth, but having generational longevity. This is, Handewa is a name, a product, a life-changing experience that will stay for generations to come. So that's why we chose Handewa as the name of the farm. And Handewa also with generational, not just with the farm, it will be a larger platform of just curating and helping others get to where they need to be, being sustainable in their, not just by food sources, but sustainable in their everyday life, bills, housing. We're wanting to get people back to the basics of the land and also be able to sustain themselves and have that generational wealth going forward for not just for now, but for years and generations to come.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And I hope you all got to hear that out on Facebook, because language preservation is so important. It's so important that we normalize our languages. And with our languages being present out there, there's so many teachable tools out about it now, and just incorporating it into our businesses and things that we do in our day-to-day life is so important. So yes, thank you, ladies. Well, I know Crystal had to scoot on out because she had class, and we're going to catch up with her later. She's always up here promoting some fun new stuff. So you won't miss much with Crystal, but if you do have messages for her, please check her out on Facebook. She's also on Instagram as well. Crystal Cavalier is her name. So check her out on Facebook if you have any messages. And you can also send messages or posts below for us for Black Indians NC. We'll make sure she gets them for her. All right, let's head to question number 2. So when did your personal journeys begin in regards to protection or preservation of agriculture? Like, where do you feel it really began where you're like, we need to really focus on our farm? This is really important and impactful for our community. What brought on that sense of, bringing in partners and thinking we need to really effectively do this?
I have to say, for myself, growing up, again, we've always, I can say, like, for us as my mother's children, she really exposed us to agriculture at a young age and allowed us to be part of a lot of programming that was agriculture specific or horticulture specific. So it's always been an intention that we've had. And growing up, she raised us vegetarian. So we didn't really have a choice. But yeah. Oh my gosh. To this day, we will not eat them. But we do it. And of course, as you grow and you expand, you whatever your parents teach you at home, whatever your guardian teaches you at home, you carry that with you into the world. And I can truly say that for both of us in particular, we've done that. Abby with being a chef, and then me with just highlighting a lot of different Black and Brown Indigenous people who are farmers in North Carolina. And the work began for me professionally about 6 years ago. I was a political field organizer, and working in politics for me was a lot like working in the tech industry, as far as like the separation from anything that has to do with the earth. And people think that you're crazy if you talk about it in those realms. Yeah, so I vowed to myself that I would not go back into politics unless it had something to do with the Occaneechi Band of Saponi Nation, or something to do with, just Native ancestry as a whole. And this just kept surfacing in different ways within my life. And then I had started a foundation or organization called Soap Worldwide a couple years back. And through that, we highlighted Black and Brown farmers. We traveled the state with, which is so crazy to think of like how this came to fruition, because Shaka was the person who actually recorded it. And then we had a whole entire series, a web series, and a conference that we did with Urban Garden Collective that was based out of UNC. This is back in 2015, 16-ish. And yeah, we just kept expanding from there. And then again, like the concept for Handewa, before it had its name, I remember Abbi and I would like just drag. I'd be like, yeah.
She really pushed me into this, y'all.
I'd be like, Abbi, can you?
I was fine just cooking in the kitchen. I was fine, but no, honestly, Anna's, in all seriousness, she did drag me into this. We've always been educated on like medicinal uses of like food and plants and everything. My mom was really educational about it, herbal medicine.
Yeah.
So that wasn't new to us, and we've always, you know, knew about that. But as far as like hemp and just everything that it comes with, like she really just like, hey, you want to come here? Hey, you want to come in? And I'm just like, you know, okay, sure, I have nothing to do.
I needed her.
And that's how I got engaged. And then I really started diving into what CBD and hemp does for the body and food. How it helped me with my anxiety, because I had really bad anxiety, like just from teenage years and young adult. And then when I found CBD, or hemp rather, I saw like the purpose in it. And it really, really, really grounded me in this work that we're doing. And just like literally growing it from a seed up, it's amazing to see the plant. And how it just
10 feet tall.
10 feet, yeah, it grows.
And we have to give a huge shout out. I know you're asking us about like our connection and when we started, but listen, Handewa would be nothing without Kiera Holtz, who is our lead farmer. This man,
girl, yes,
he is a genius when it comes to growing like any plant. He grew a banana tree in his front yard in red clay in North Carolina. Wow. We don't even have the climate for that. And he, you know what I'm saying?
And some bomb peaches.
Yes, he did. And peppers. He loves some peppers now. But Kiera really, he's so dedicated. And I can say this about every single member in Handewa. We're all so dedicated, and we believe in the mission of what we're doing. And we all assume positions of leadership with one another. So when you come and you sit with us, you'll see that all of us are, it's an equal playing field. Evenly killed, that's what you said? Yeah, a playing field. So all of us, you know, when something comes up or something arises, we all handle it together, and we're all resolution oriented together. But that man in particular, he's so studious, he's very passionate and very driven, he's very dedicated, faithful, very loyal. And he grew that plant. Like we sowed the seeds together, and of course, all of our hands were needed and necessary for the process.
But he was leading.
Yeah, it was his mind. The systems, the development, other farm. Yeah,
we learned a whole lot. I learned so much. Like, yeah, I'm sitting here. I don't even know how I know half the stuff I know about him. But it's him like throwing stuff, hey, read this, do this, do that. And even when we hang out, like he's like, well, watch this YouTube video.
He's like, oh, did y'all see, or did you look at it? And we were like, Kiera, you didn't even tell us what it was for. He's like, I put it there, go look at it.
But yeah, so I honestly forgot where we were. Yeah. But honestly, like
I had to shout him out because people ask us all the time like how we got here. And of course, like all of us, now we are definitely women-led, and the women take the cake when it comes to all the clerical and the
business. But the men are the farmers.
They get out there and they get to it.
And half the team was pregnant anyways.
Yes, and congratulations to the whole.
Not me though, not me.
Yeah, not me either.
Yes, and congratulations. Congratulations to Kiera and Chelsea Holtz, expecting their first bundle of joy. So excited for them. So yes, shout out to Chelsea.
She's on her way.
Yeah, we got the next Handewa generation coming up.
Isn't that crazy?
So
we start, and 5 of our members are now parents. That is so 6. I'm the only one that's not a parent.
Everybody's looking like, what are you waiting on?
Handewa's my baby. Okay.
That's right. That is enough to keep you busy. And I'm so excited for them and their new bundle of joy on the way. Their peanut, as she says. So excited. Chelsea, for those of you who may not know, if you didn't see our post about her last week, she is the PR guru for our Black Indians NC.
Yes, she is.
and one of our Black Indian Cities Powwow Council members. So we are very excited to have her with the planning team that is planning that powwow for next year. So I can't wait for it. I'm so excited.
Yes.
So excited. Thank y'all so much. So now I know we've talked kind of a little bit about farms and like your personal farms. We talked about Crystal's farm as well, but really the significance of supporting local farmers. I want to make sure that our viewers tonight are really understanding where if they go and spend their bucks with a local farmer versus a commercial grocery store, how beneficial that can be for their community. So, and we have people watching all the way from Virginia Beach, hello, all the way out there, and VA in South Carolina and here in North Carolina. But yeah, let's talk about local support. How important is it to support local farms?
I want to start with that. For the support that anyone can give to a local farmer, first and foremost is the freshness of your food. Your food not being tainted or you have to worry about GMO or pesticides. Local farmers do their best to make sure that their soil remains organic. Whatever they put in the earth remains organic, most local farmers. And supporting them will benefit you as the person purchasing from the local farmers. The other thing that supporting the local farmers can do is it allows the local farmers to be able to have that community where it's what I said before is us getting back to the land. You going to a local farmer gives you that opportunity and allows the local farmers altogether an opportunity to be able to grow the food sources that you're looking for. There's a organization, CSA, that lets local farmers know what the people want in the communities, what people are requesting, so that they're able to grow it in that area and make sure that, I mean, for example, the sweet potatoes here in North Carolina, is grown here. But that's because that's what's wanted. The collard greens and the strawberries and the blueberries, these are things that are requested by a lot of the people that are buying from the local farmers. So it's those are some of the reasons why it's good to purchase from local farmers. I mean, there's other reasons, but those are the ones that stand out to me.
Yes, anything to add, ladies up there?
I think that Mama Kisha hit it right, or you can call her MK. I think that she hit it like right where it needed to be hit. I know for us in particular, when you come and shop with us, you can do so at handewafarms.org. We have a new harvest collection that just came out for our first harvest to celebrate. Hand harvested, hand raised, completely organic. We have put in so much work over this year, and I will let you know, not only just sweat equity, but we put our own money into this farm. That's how much we believed in it. And a part of our mission at Handewa is to give the food that we grow back to people who experience food insecurity and those who live within food deserts. And as you know, so much of our population, especially that surrounds Indigenous and African American Black communities, we experience food deserts. So we live again in areas where the grocery stores are all packaged, and the only food that's available is completely GMO or completely processed, grown in a lab, however they're doing it these days. So when you come and spend with Handewa, just know that you're sowing into us, but you're also sowing into those other countless individuals who are unable to provide for themselves in that way. And everyone deserves that. Like, regardless of where you live, what you drive, who you are, what you do, what you have done, every single person on earth has to eat. That's a prerequisite to living. So if it's something that we can't do on our own, we do rely on like the support from the people in the community to give back to us so we can continue to give to the next person.
And just literally just supporting Afro, Indigenous, or Black business.
I mean,
that's like in a nutshell.
We cute. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, y'all are. And we got some some good comments here from everyone. We have a comment: bless all you matriarch women doing the revolutionary things for the Yesa, the people. We are honored by your leadership. That's from Jason Campos Keck. Yes, Crystal's husband.
Hey, Jason, what's up?
Thank you for watching and tuning in, Jason. And then
Oh, yes.
we also have another comment. This is awesome. So I hear up here, please contact Sonia Beatty. She and her parents, along with Department of Agriculture, host a minority farmers conference annually. Due to COVID, it was canceled this year, but look forward to it next year, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all. We truly enjoy it. Minority farmers from across the state and even outside the state. So yes,
awesome.
Thank you, Trevon, for posting that. That is such good knowledge.
Yeah. May you pass it along to us?
I will.
Yeah, thank you.
I sure will. I will pass it along to you. Yes. Let's see what other comments we have from everybody. I love that the whole family is involved and supportive. This is so very important. Yes. I love that it's a family collective too, that your ladies are all working together. And it's funny, I literally know just about everybody on y'all team. When I went on y'all website a couple months ago and looked up there and saw like all the people involved, I'm like, oh, I know him. It's such a small community when you realize you know so many people.
Yes.
Yes. And then we have from one of my cousins, I love this, several heart emojis. Love this conversation. Thank you for sharing about Handewa farms and language preservation. I look forward to connecting with you all. All right, we got some great comments here. Do we have any more questions? I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Oh, we got one from my sissy Lenny. This is complete dope. I was like, I know that's right. This is very dope conversation we are having tonight. And I'm so happy to see people posting their indigenous languages in the chat box. Thank you.
Awesome.
You know, I'm a Cherokee language girl, so some of them I don't know. But I and I want to shout out Mallory B. Richardson, and she is amazing.
Hey,
love Mal. Mal's been up here handling the post for us tonight, even without me asking her, and I love it because we have comments coming in and she's been responding. So thank you, Mal, for always being amazing and fabulous, and love the work that she does with the Phoenix Tribune. If you guys haven't heard of it, the Phoenix Tribune is a magazine focused on Indigenous people here across the state. And you can check her out on Instagram and Facebook, the Phoenix Tribune. So check her out. She's doing a series this month on Indigenous women of influence. And I'm excited I get to be one of them. So,
yay.
So definitely.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment.
Now here's one we have. Thank you. I was wondering about how I could participate, talking about for Black Indians NC, to help my daughter who's only 11 but is Black and Indigenous and wants to be a part of both cultures. I love that. And I know tonight we were talking about agriculture, but for me, definitely being able to make people feel inclusive about both of their backgrounds was so important to us at Black Indians NC. Very important.
Thank you for the work you do as well.
Yes,
Kimberly.
Thank you.
It's most important, and that woman is correct. Like I know for me, and I can speak for all of us, it means a lot to have a basis that you can and have a foundation, and there's nothing like being seen in this world.
And being this actually brings a lot of acknowledgement to those who identify with both, but are not only seen as one. And myself, they'll meet my mom, be like, oh, what are you mixed with? But honestly, they won't look at me and be like, oh yeah, you're Native American, or even my sister who's a darker complexion. So, we've had a spill on this before, but I'm not gonna go all the way in it, but it means a lot that your work means a lot for people like myself and my siblings, because we all identify with both.
That's right. And it was tough growing up, because I'm gonna tell you, in the last 6-7 months since COVID really hit, I'm actually able now to slow down enough to, I guess, to see it more or just realize the presence of it more, because for a while Black Indians NC felt a little bit alone, just like I felt a little alone growing up as a kid, because some of my family members in Eastern North Carolina, they knew of Indigenous possibly heritage, but never knew concretely who. It was well more defined on my father's side, and so I knew about his heritage and everything. Shout out to the Eastern Band Cherokee members out there. Okay. But you know, it was one of those things where my mom's family lineage, people didn't know much about that. And in her family lineages, we're finding out now in the last couple of years, links to the Tuscarora, the Handewa Saponi. So it's like, we're really finding out and getting rooted and finding out these things. So it is tough. So if you're out there tonight, thank you for watching us and learning about us, because we come in all different variations, just like any other Indigenous group. And I'm all about Afro Native voices being heard. You know, it's like, we need the representation. Hello.
And it's something too, because a lot of times you can feel, so like you're saying, you can feel alone, and also it makes you feel a little less than who you are. And the truth is that you don't get to decide who, like, what you come to earth as. So once we're here, you know, it is important for us to shine a light and to represent ourselves in a light that can inspire it for someone else. Because, you know, in today's climate, that young baby, that little girl, she's not going to have to, now she probably will still have her own experiences, right, with just a duality that comes with her existence, though at least she knows that there's something and there are other people that she can look up to when she does have those questions about herself and her heritage and how she carries herself in the world.
And she could probably say that she is Afro-Indigenous.
You know?
Yeah.
We didn't have that term growing up.
We didn't. we would tell people we were Native American. They were like, huh? Where?
You had to prove it. It's like, yo, you should.
Like, here's my card.
Until I walk in the door, then it's like, oh, is your mom? Where is she?
And it was like that for me growing up. It was literally, you were a Black Indian. That was it. The terminology was Black Indian. And it wasn't a lot of conversation around it. It was just like, we're both. And so it was just like, okay. But I do say to people out there, and you know, one of the people that commented about their daughter said, thank you for us doing this work. The thing is, I wanted visibility. I wanted people to see every shade of us, every difference of us. And you don't have to choose a side. You can be just as proud of yourself. Tonight, I'm up here in a West African head wrap with beads.
Yes,
girl. And we'll continue to. Okay. So it's I honor my African ancestors just as much as I honor my Indigenous ones. That's right. It's just as much, because they both had to go through so much to survive.
That's true.
And we're here. We're here. That's something to celebrate.
It is something to celebrate. So in our comments, we have, OMG, I'm so thankful to have found this group. We have a question. How important are titles to you? The word Indian, why do we choose to use that term? Just curious. I just don't feel comfortable with that term to describe my people. Good question. So you know what? It's a variation of words these days. You have everything from Indigenous to Native American to American Indian to Indian. I agree, because a lot of it is colonized based language, because it's not our actual Indigenous language that we're speaking it in. But then when it comes to people who are Afro-Native, we hear Afro-Native, Afro-Indigenous, Blendian, Black Indian. Yes, so you hear many different definitions. I found it's based on where you're living and from, where I hear the terms more often. So like I'm seeing more on social media, Afro-Indigenous. And then in the West, I see Blendian. And then like, if I look at people's pages that are from the Southern states, I see Black Native, Black Indian. If I look at New York-based like friends who I follow, or Boston area, Afro-Natives, Afro-Indigenous. So it's really, I think, just about where you may be location-wise. But I say and identify what feels comfortable to you, because guess what, honey? You can choose on your census. You can choose on who you identify as. You have those freedoms because of ancestors that pay.
Yeah.
That's well said.
And to add to, I agree 100%. And I do value that person's sentiment and, you know, for that comment, because I understand where she's coming from a standpoint of like you just said, like of colonization. Though, you know, representation is representation. And for us to still be here today, like Kimberly's saying, where she comes from, this is something that is acceptable. And this is something that she chose to highlight, because it's almost like a reclamation of such a thing. Now,
Right.
I know for ourselves, we say Afro-Indigenous, but again, we're from the North. So my mother moved us all back down here to be closer to our tribe. But if we were raised down here, like, you know, brought up completely, then I'm sure it would be the same exact thing for us. But it's a geographical thing. And I would say, like, however you self-identify is perfect. But it doesn't mean that one takes precedence over the other. It's just a general, it's an opinion.
And it's identical to like saying I'm Black, I'm African American.
Yeah.
You know, I'm colored or I'm brown.
I don't know if I said that.
African American, Afro American, you know, all these different terminologies. I'm definitely about that. It's about decreasing erasure and about being comfortable in who you are. We had a comment of someone saying, I've been calling myself Black Native. Okay. We also have actually the term Indian comes from the 3 Indias, which was something that referred to North America before the 1500s. The country now called India has a name, Hinduistan, which was erased around the time Indians became Negro, Black, colored, and here on out. So we have some comments below about some historical pieces. And it's about research too, everyone. I want you to make sure you research your family and your lineage and just what feels comfortable and identifiable to you. I went with Black Indians NC. We also have another comment. The name Indian, American Indian, and Amerindian predates colonial times too. And some schools of thought, the American womb gave birth to the Hindu modern Indian. Yes, and thank you for bringing it up. I actually grew up with 3 amazing women from East Indian lineage. So thank you for bringing it up in the comments. And thank you all the people up here saying all these great things to us. We sure do. Black Indian in Maryland. Okay. All right, Maryland to MD. I love y'all crab cakes, by the way. They're amazing. But ladies, I want to thank you for tonight's conversation. It has been awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, is it over?
We're done. It's over.
I can talk about this all day. You got to bring me back.
I know. Y'all gonna come back. Y'all gonna come back. We have to get Crystal back up here again. She's been up here with us before, and she did an awesome job last time. She did an awesome job tonight. I know she has some school things she had to handle tonight. Oh, we got somebody from Missouri. I don't hear any of those names, even though people kept asking me when I was younger, what Native am I? And I did not know what I am, and still not even sure through doing a DNA test if there is traces of Indian. So I say I dot Indian or feather Indian. So yeah, we have some people still need to research a little bit more. And you know what? Be okay in the time it takes to research.
That's right.
It takes a long time. This is why genealogists charge so much, because it's very tedious work. Hello to NC in the house. But it's a lot of work and time. And I'm really excited for my family members. I'm gifting them something very special for the holidays about our family tree that has not been known about for probably well over a century. So a lot of like family history of our African American and Indigenous family members. So I'm really excited to share that. And before we go, I always do the show where I honor someone in my family that I like to thank for being an ancestor or someone I'm a descendant from that is amazing. So I'm going to share my screen here so you can see a picture out there. And I hope Facebook land can see the picture. Let's see if they can see the picture as well. Can you ladies see the picture?
Yes.
Yes.
My aunt,
that's our Aunt Lynette.
Yep, there's Lynette. And there's me at 17.
That's you?
Oh,
that's me
wow.
at 17. So
wait, is Lynette who you're honoring?
Yes, I'm honoring my aunt here, Mary Helen. as well as Miss Lynette, because Miss Lynette was amazing. I got many, many powwow pictures with her. I
Yeah.
got to know her and I thought she was amazing. But
Lynette.
I'm honoring my aunt Mary Helen Lucas Wilkins tonight. She is one of the family members that I will be honoring in that special gift to the family. It's that side of the family.
Wow.
So this is my mother's oldest sister. So
Oh,
yes, definitely wanted to highlight her. And so also I'm going to share another picture. Let me take that one down. So y'all can see the next
Wow.
photo.
This is so lovely.
Thank you. Thank you so much, because I just feel like it's so important that we honor our family roots. It is so, so important that we
Yes.
honor family and that we give honor and grace to them and all the things that they have done. So yeah. So I'm gonna do another photo here. Pardon me, guys, with the Zoom. Still learning all the kinks. Still learning all the kinks with Zoom. Let's
I had a question for you too, Kimberly.
go ahead. Yeah, while I'm
So,
doing this.
I know that the young woman in Missouri has said that, she's still seeking to discover like her lineage. Do you know of a genealogist that you could recommend to people who are interested in discovering more about their Native heritage?
Yes, I've actually gotten a chance to meet some that are on the what do you call it, on the side when it comes to North Carolina. Now, actually, that
Really?
far, I don't know too many that are out here in Missouri, but I'm sure I'm only a few degrees of separation from that. So, yes, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna do a new share, and then I'm gonna share a picture of my dad. He is still living, but I wanted to share a picture of my dad so everyone can see my father out there. Can y'all see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm trying something new out here on Zoom, everybody. So yes, this is my father. His heritage line is Eastern Band Cherokee. Very thankful for him teaching me language and culture and music and taking me to Cherokee and all of that as a child and making sure that that was something incorporated, teaching me about sweat and also sweat lodge and also about smudge praying and the medicinal purposes of our sacred herbs, and just really just making sure that I was engrossed into the culture. So shout out to Rudy. Shout out to my dad. And my dad's mother family roots are from the Ivory Coast. So very thankful for the African and Indigenous intersection I grew up under. So I'm gonna do another new share for y'all. And this is one of, let's see if it'll let me do new share. This is one my followers probably have seen before. This is my mother. So you can't show dad without showing mom.
That's what she looks like.
Yep.
Look like your mama.
Oh yeah, I definitely get it from mom. So yeah, I definitely do look like my mother.
Come through shoulder.
Yeah, you better do it. May she rest in peace. She is now an ancestor. My mother's an ancestor now. But she was a beautiful soul and really inspired me to get started on my journey when it comes to, researching her family tree, which is where I showed you her sister earlier, the first photo, and she's the youngest daughter out of 6. Yeah. So that side of the family is the side that I've been researching. So yeah, and I got one more little picture for y'all that I'm gonna share, and this one is coming up for me next week. This is going to be with Mallory Richardson. I shouted out, and Mallory is having me on her Indigenous Women of Influence. So I will be up there with the Phoenix Tribune. Can you see it? That. Okay, good. Y'all can see it. So I will be featured on her Facebook Live for Powered by the Phoenix Tribune. And it's coming up on November 24th. So next week, you can catch me up there in honor of Native American Heritage Month. And you can catch me on her Facebook Live at 8 p.m. So don't worry, guys. I'll be sending this back out to remind people. But I just wanted to share some of those photos with everyone. before we close out tonight to say all those good things for people. But thank y'all for being here.
You're
Thank you for
welcome. Thank
having
you for
us.
having us.
Thank you. Well, everyone
It
in
was
Facebook
amazing.
land, ladies, don't go anywhere yet, but everybody in Facebook land, we're going to say goodnight. Please make sure you follow these amazing ladies, these awesome farmers and chefs and just amazing women, and shout out to them. And they are, for those who might have been coming into the room a little later, they are of African American and they are enrolled with the Occaneechi Band of Saponi. So they are both of African American and Indigenous heritage. And so I'm very thankful to have them here. I had all Occaneechi women tonight. So,
Yeah.
so that's a first for us, where we had everybody from the same tribe. That is awesome.
You
Might
can
be
have
a trend. Might be a trend later, but
Oh yes.
yeah. But thank you, Facebook guys, and we are gonna say bye to Facebook.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.